Hi, welcome to the Depot's first Ned Talk. I'm Ned, and this is my Ned Talk. In February of this year, I flew down to Montevideo, Uruguay, to board this ship, the Seabourn Quest, bound for Antarctica, at the invitation of this man, anthropologist and Granite State Ambassador Jeff DeVito. He had asked me to speak to the ship's 420 passengers about the life of polar explorer Lincoln Ellsworth. In 1926, Ellsworth had joined Roald Amundsen in flying a blimp over the North Pole, and in 1935, along with pilot Herbert Hollick Kenyon, they flew a small plane across Antarctica. Perhaps predictably, their plane crashed shy of their destination. Less predictably, they survived the crash, as well as the following 2 months they spent in an abandoned research station awaiting rescue from the Australian Navy. They were the only 2 humans on the entire continent. Ellsworth was a brave and odd duck. He'd become obsessed with Wyatt Earp, and he bought Earp's wedding ring from Earp's widow and wore it. And he hung the lawman's gun belt on his bedpost and brought it with him on his flight. He was also my great-great-uncle. For that and other reasons, I was pretty jazzed to set foot on Antarctica. Our first stop was the Falkland Islands, which Argentines know as Las Malvinas. It pains me to admit it, but the place is quite British indeed. From there, we crossed the notorious Drake Passage with its 15-foot swells that made me sick, but went unnoticed by the crew. The following morning, we sighted Antarctica. Here's my first glimpse of the place, seen through my cabin porthole. We would soon see an astonishing array of icebergs, massive bergs, cave bergs, spaceship bergs, seal bergs, castle bergs, backdrops for a leaping penguin bergs, berg factories, or, as they're otherwise known, glaciers. Was it cold? A bit. But I've caught fiercer chills in, say, Connecticut. Oh, wait, we have a question here.
Daddy, did you see any whales?
Whales? Yes, indeed, plenty. Here's a shot of 2 humpback whales. If you squint, you can see there on the left is the back of one whale, and on the right, the fluke of another. And here is the skeleton of a blue whale. We have another question.
Daddy, did you see any perfect colored penguins?
Good question. In fact, nearly all the penguins I saw were perfectly colored. Look at these 2 strapping chinstrap penguins. And here's a colony of suitably suited gentoos enjoying their cozy oceanfront home. Speaking of the cozy ocean, toward the end of the trip, I jumped in it. That's me in 32.9-degree water. For his Antarctic exploits, Lincoln Ellsworth met FDR. I got this certificate, signed by the ship's captain. I hopped off the boat in Ushuaia, played around on the world's southernmost golf course, and then flew north, arriving in an empty JFK on February 17. I'd spent 2 weeks on a ship visiting Antarctica, but customs officials only wanted to know if I'd been to China in the past 14 days. Within a few weeks, the quest, the cruise industry, and much of the rest of the planet would be shut down. I'd been on the last boat, for a while anyway, to the end of the world.